Hi everybody, my name is Holly Draper and I am the creator of Shop Draped. I am a head wrap artist, content creator, and I am here to bring you guys, finally, the redo of how to sew a head wrap. So let's get into our old video. If you haven't watched the original how to sew a head wrap, click right up here. With that video, first of all, when did I create it? Like 2017, 2018? I thought I was being cute, adding in all those little sewing terms, and I definitely were. When I reviewed it, I realized I was using them in the wrong tense. I was just using the wrong words to describe the methods that I was using. And so on this video, I'm just going to just say what I'm doing rather than trying to sprinkle in what did I say? A French seam, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, why did I say that? Why did I say that? Why did I say I was doing this and I really wasn't? Y'all, it was one of my first YouTube videos. Well, not the first, but it was one of my first few YouTube videos that I had posted on here, and I did not think that I would have over 100,000 people look at that video. So, without further ado, I am going to review some of the comments that were on that video and readdress them here. And yeah, let's get into it. So I have my Ankara laid out here, and as many of you guys know, with Draped, I mostly use African Ankara with most of our products. If anybody knows anything about Ankara, it is already, when you buy it in bulk, like 6 yards, 12 yards, whatever, it's already folded up for you. You don't have to do any measuring. This is what I love about Ankara. It's literally a snip and go. So we have all of our yards kind of laid out flat. When you get Ankara, it typically would come kind of folded up like this. So all you would have to do, just open it up and lay it flat like so. So head wraps are typically the kind of head wraps that I like to create. They're typically 2 yards long. And all we would have to do, cut out 2 yards, so 1 and 2. So this is 1 yard, and this is 2 yards. Again, it's already pre-measured. If you guys need the length of this fabric, I believe it is 43 inches long. We'll take these other 2 yards away. All right. So now we have our 2 yards. Yeah. We have our 2 yards here. And guess what I'm going to do next? Because it's already pre-measured out, all I have to do is fold it in half. That's all we got to do. We're using Ankara here, you guys. Now, if you're using any other fabric, you would have to pre-measure it out. And I'll give you all the dimensions below in the descriptions if you are curious. All we have to do here is just fold it in half. Make sure that the ends are equal. One of the comments that I got in the original video is about the selvage. You have to cut the selvage out. No, I don't. No, you don't. You don't have to cut the selvage off. All we have to do for the selvage is just sew it. I'll show you what to do with the selvage. No, you don't have to cut the selvage off. No, you don't. And I also need to inform you guys that everybody creates differently. Everybody sews differently. There isn't one way to sew, and there is no one way to create, okay? All right. Before you guys start wreaking havoc in my comment section, because I'm not going to disable the comments in this video. Once they are evenly put together, You could iron it to make, you could iron it to kind of flatten the fabric out. I'm not. What I love about Ankara is that it's pretty straightforward. All I would have to do here is take my sharp fabric scissors. Boom. That's it. So we have one head wrap here and one head wrap there. I know a lot of people got confused about that when I cut it last time. They're asking, how many head wraps can you make with 2 yards of fabric? 2 head wraps. But we're only going to make 1 head wrap in this video. So I'm going to take this extra and throw it in my pile. And then I'll show you what's next. Alright, and we're back. So I have my ironing board here. And I have my handy dandy Conair. It's a steamer and it's also an iron. If you guys work with textiles, you may want to consider this. It is perfect to work with clothing and to just get your items just perfectly laying flat. So I'll link it below if you guys are interested. Alright, so I'm waiting for this to heat up a little bit and start steaming. In the meantime, we're going to fold this all the way out. And we want this to be folded probably an inch over. I guess, is that about an inch? Let me see. Okay, half an inch. Half an inch. And we are just going to iron this all the way down. We're also going to do that to both sides. It's going to lay nice and flat, nice and flat. You see that? It's laying perfectly flat, you guys. So I'm going to do this to both sides, and then I will be back. Okay, I am back, and I have both the long sides perfectly steamed and ironed. I don't know if I made that clear. The long sides are the ones that need to be ironed and have an inch folded over like this. Okay, so the next step is to fold it over 1 more half inch and iron it again. Let's do that. Okay. My iron is still on. I just turned off the steam. But the steam really helps with laying down fabric. There we go. Yep. And there's a reason why I fold it over and iron it, you guys. I absolutely hate using pins. And so with this method, I don't have to pin my entire head wrap. I'll already have it perfectly folded over so that I can easily iron it. I need to go add some more water. Alright, I'm gonna iron both these sides, and then when I come back, I'll show you what it looks like. Alright, we are back, and I am here at my sewing machine. And so we see that both sides have been folded and pressed. So now we're going to sew it up. Now if you wanted to, you could pin it down the sides just to have extra security. But because we have steamed and ironed it, you don't particularly have to pin it. It will lay flat under the sewing machine, okay? So, how far are we gonna go in? So we're gonna kind of sew on the edge right here and do a straight stitch all the way down. So we're going to stitch about right here and go all the way down. Just a straight stitch, okay? Let me give you guys a close-up on what that looks like on my machine. So we're gonna go in. Don't forget the back stitch. And just do a straight stitch. Take your time with it all the way down. Take your time. Okay, I finished one side and now I'm starting the other side. Same thing. We want to get pretty close to the end. And do a straight stitch all the way down. And then back stitch. And then cut off your excess thread. So both sides should now be sewn and it should look like this. So now we're gonna work on the ends. So meet me back at my ironing board. All right, we have sewn both sides of our head wrap. Now we're going to go ahead and fold it over a 1/2 inch and go ahead and iron all the way down. When you have that iron down, you're going to fold it over again a 1/2 inch and iron that down too. And you're going to do the same thing to the other end. Fold it over once, 1/2 inch, and iron. Fold it over again, and iron. Okay, here we are back at the sewing machine. And now I'm just going to sew my ends. We're going to get close to the edge of the fold. I'm sorry guys, I'm really bad with like sewing measurements. I'm like, yeah, that's about right. We're gonna back stitch and then do a straight stitch all the way down. you're done. Do the same thing to the other side. We're going to start off and then back stitch. Do a straight stitch all the way down. And that's it, you guys. So one final thing that you should do after any sewing project is to do a little cleanup. Any extra threads, just snip them off, and that's all I'm doing here. Sometimes people forget to clean up their head wraps. Just make it look nice and neat. Especially at the ends, sometimes we forget to snip off the extra thread. Let's see. I think this is it. Yeah, and that is it, you guys. You have just made a head wrap. Now it's all ready to be styled. A common question that I get is, where can I buy African Ankara? Well, guess what, you guys? I'm getting ready to open shop again, and you guys will be able to buy African Ankara by the yard. I will leave a link to that below, you guys. I'm starting off with just a few choices, and then I'll expand, you know, what we have. But I'm starting off with little. Please do not bombard me with the wholesale orders just yet. We're just getting started. So I will link to where you guys can buy some of our fabric by the yard below. One thing that I did not mention in the video that's coming to me as I put together my final thoughts, the difference between each side. So if you guys didn't know, the reason why I don't cut off the selvage is because I want to be able to tell the difference between the good side and the back side. So with a lot of Ankara, the front side is typically the really waxy side, but sometimes you get fabric that isn't that waxy, and it's hard to tell the difference between the front and the back. So when we're folding, make sure that you have the wrong side face towards you. As you are folding, this is the good side, you fold it over like so, a ½ inch, and iron down, fold it over again, and iron down, okay? I know I didn't make that clear in the video, but I just wanted to clear that up while I still have y'all girls, and maybe guys, on the line. I hope this video helps you guys. I hope that I was able to clear up some of the confusion from the first video. Yeah, so if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more tutorials. Okay, love you guys. Bye.